So how many of you are attending here for the first time? If you are attending for the first time, write 0. If you're attending for more times, write the number of times you've been attending. I request all of you to introduce yourselves in the chat. Thank you for joining me today. It will be fantastic if you can tell me who you are, where are you logging in from. Are you a lawyer? Are you a law student? Write lawyer if you're a lawyer. Where do you practice? What do you do? That will be awesome. Hi Ankita, how are you? Hi Jagannath. 15 plus webinars you attended. Awesome. Super, super. Hi Deepika, law student. What about others? Please introduce yourselves quickly. All right. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Ramanuj Mukherjee. I'm CEO at LawSikho. And I do these webinars regularly, almost every day, 9 p.m. I have a new webinar, and some of you have been attending regularly. I hope you have been enjoying these webinars. If anybody have attended before, please share if you have benefited from the webinars in any way, so that I would know if I should continue these webinars or not, right? So if I hear that you are benefiting, then I'll know I'm on the right track. So is there anyone who has attended webinars before and you have been able to implement something somewhere, benefited from it? Please share in the chats. That'll be great. Hi Chinmay, hi Sunil, hi Pranav. I'm good, how are you? Hi Sunny, Jagannath, Rishabh. So Jagannath, saying it is helpful is not enough. You have to tell me how it is helpful. How have these webinars helped you? Okay. All right. So while you do that, type it out in the chat. I look forward to your suggestions, and also share, like, if there are some topics you want me to address in the future, some questions that you have on your mind that you want me to address in the future. That'll be awesome, right? Super, super. Okay. So let me pull up today's presentation and get started. And by the way, if you are on my webinar, that means that you are interested in, like, for example, today's webinar is about corporate law, and if you're here, that means you have a certain interest in corporate law. You can imagine that other people who are attending are either already corporate lawyers or on the way to become corporate lawyers. So it's a great place to network with each other. Okay, so do share your LinkedIn profiles with each other. Share your Twitter profiles with each other. I'm going to share my Twitter profile with all of you so that I can stay connected. Okay, and it's very, very important that you get connected. You never know what opportunities will open up. You should support each other, comment on each other's posts, encourage each other. It's a great way. I can see there are about 50 people attending on YouTube and also on Zoom together. More than 50 people attending right now, and it's great. Like, imagine all of you have interest in corporate law. Some of you are in different levels of success with your pursuit. Maybe some of you are students, some of you are lawyers, and you can really someday would be able to help each other, right? Imagine when I went to college at NUJ in 2011, right? My friends today are, many of them are in the government. They are in-house counsels, law firm partners, and if I need some advice, some ideas, they're just a phone call away, right? Because we're all friends, and there are so many other people. On LinkedIn, I'm connected to over 40,000 people. On Twitter, I'm connected to 5,000-6,000 people. So I can just write something and ask for advice, ask for suggestions, and it's just available for me. And that's why I encourage you guys to also network, stay connected with each other. If you have the similar goals in mind and you are walking in the same path, it's very valuable if you're connected. Okay, so share your LinkedIn profiles with each other, connect with each other. Of course, if you do not like somebody's behavior, etc., you can always block them later, right? But at least no harm in connecting. Okay, so with that, let's get straight into today's topic. There's a lot to discuss today, and it's a very interesting subject, I must say. We are going to talk about what kind of clients pay the most money to corporate lawyers and what are their expectations. And I'm actually going to break down the expenditure of a company, the largest company in the world, Apple, right? And I'm going to explain to you how Apple spends its money. And I'm going to even tell you how Apple spends its money on legal things, right? Over the years, how they have done it. And it's very, very interesting. And you'll also have to learn how, what such clients expect. Like if you're going to work with large corporate law firms, you'd need to have, people think that, we need to have knowledge, we need to have skills. Yes, but you also need to have mindset. You need to have understanding of the commercials of your clients' interests. You need to have a thought process about how you're going to help your clients, right? And you need to understand what your clients want from you, want from a law firm like that. Why are they spending? Imagine somebody spending 1 crore rupees, or I'm going to show you matters where people have spent $1 billion on legal bills. So why would a company like Google or Apple spend that much money on legal issues, right? And it's very interesting. I'm sure you're going to love it and you're going to learn a lot, right? So somebody's saying I'm broke. Don't worry. I started broke, and you can start as broke. There is no problem if you woke up today morning and you are broke. But what did you do today to not stay broke? That matters, right? It's absolutely fine if you're super broke and you wake up, you are super broke and you realize and you feel bad about it for 2 minutes, no problem. But what did you do today? It's 9 p.m., right? So you had a whole Monday. What did you do with it? Did you do something to change the situation that you are broke? And if you didn't even do anything today, fine. You're attending this webinar, which is also a step towards getting out of your broke condition, because you're learning about money, you're learning about clients, you're learning about things that might help you to reach something. Okay, so are you ready to get started? If you want me to start and you are interested in this topic and you're looking forward to it, just write yes and put down the chat box quick. So I know that everything is good. You can hear me clearly. All right, super. Let's start. Okay. So, everyone talks about which lawyers get paid the most. You Google, okay? If you Google Hanuman Rathod, you want to record this, don't worry, you don't need to record it. It will be available on YouTube later. You can watch it from LawSikho YouTube channel. So don't worry, okay? So everyone talks about which lawyers get paid the most, okay? It's very interesting. I was trying to see if there are any articles on what kind of clients pay lawyers most, and there is now no articles on that. Okay, nobody ever talks about which clients pay the most money to lawyers, why they pay more, and so on. There is nothing on the internet. Imagine, there are billions of articles, millions of them are for lawyers, but nothing. There are hundreds of articles on which lawyers earn more money and all of that, right? Which lawyers get more salary. That is bullshit. That's not going to help you, right? What's going to help you is to understand why some clients are paying so much money and what are they expecting. Because if you are going to earn a lot of money, then you need to understand, because you are going to serve those clients, right? So you need to understand that first, right? You see the difference, like how people think. They are trying to see, okay, which lawyers are earning more money. Sure, Ram Jethmalani used to earn a lot of money. 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗍 earns a lot of money, earns 300 crores and filed income tax for 300 crores. Does this information help you? Can you go and just, do something about it? Can you become a 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗍? No, the information is not enough for you to take any kind of action, right? But if you realize that, okay, who are the clients who are paying, let's say, 1 crore rupees for a matter? Why are they paying so much money? Why are they going to certain lawyers? That gives you a direction as to what you might do to become a very good lawyer, to become a lawyer who earns a lot of money, right? So I find it surprising that people are obsessed about which lawyers are earning more money. It's like some kind of page 3 gossip. That, oh, this lawyer earns a lot of money. But nobody is actually analyzing who are the clients of such lawyers, of such law firms. Okay, who is paying, who is spending so much money, right? Why are they spending on it? In fact, I would want to know more about how India's largest companies, or even the world's largest companies, are spending money, so that I can understand what is their priority, what is their focus, so that I can learn more of that, right? Many of you say that, I don't know what should I do in life. I want to earn a lot of money, but what should I specialize in? Follow the money, right? Basic common sense. What are the highest priorities for companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google? In India, maybe Reliance, for Tata's, for, I don't know, any large company, Flipkart, right? Amazon. But we don't think about that, right? We don't think about that. We think that, okay, which law firm gives more salary? That's not going to help you to prepare, right? What is going to help you to prepare is to understand what is the demand in the market, right? So to make it simple, I like to break things down in a very simple way so that anybody can understand, right? It doesn't make sense for me to make things complicated, but simpler, so that you can understand. And remember this, for your clients also in the future, you will try to make things very simple so that they can get it and they can remember it. That is more beneficial, right? So corporate lawyers get paid a lot when, okay, wait for it. Corporate lawyers get paid a lot when there are 3 situations. 1, their clients are spending a lot of money. So if your client is spending a lot of money and they need a lawyer, they will be willing to pay their lawyer a lot of money. It's just a function of that, right? So I have given you 1 situation. There are 2 more situations. Can you guess what are the 2 other situations? Anybody here can guess? Let's see if you can guess it. Waiting for it. Quick. Think fast, guys. What do you think? This is 1 situation I told you. This is a clue that when a lawyer's clients are spending a lot of money already, they don't mind paying a lot to their clients also. Okay. But there are 2 more scenarios. Can you guess what those are? Nobody's saying anything. Complete silence. I want you to think. This thinking is very important. When they are desperate, sure, but when are they desperate? What makes them desperate? Losing a lot. Sumant, good one. Okay, that's actually one of the, when they are afraid of losing a lot of money, right? They are actually losing or may lose. There's a possibility of losing a lot of money. That's the 3rd one. Actually, I made 3 categories. The 3rd one is that, right? Somebody saying when you have a good market image and brand. No, Ria. It's not like they are, oh, you have great brand image, you have a lot of name in the market, so I'll pay you a lot of money. This is a mistake a lot of people make. They are chasing some brand name to make money. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. Brand name comes later. First, you have to solve the problem of your client. That is first and foremost. If you can solve problems of your clients, then brand names will chase you. Okay. What did Amir Khan said in, what do you call, 3 Idiots, that movie, right? What did he say? कि आप एक्सेलेंस के पीछे भागो, सक्सेस झक मार के आपके पीछे आएगा. ऐसे ही आप सॉल्यूशंस के पीछे भागो, क्लाइंट झक मार के आपके पास आ जाएगा, ब्रांड नेम भी आपके पास झक मार के आएगा. Okay, so we are trying to understand what are those situations where clients are ready to spend a lot of money. Okay, sure, they might go to a brand name law firm, a brand name lawyer, but why? Why that lawyer? I mean, what is the situation in which they are going there? When an advocate has really good knowledge and skills in this particular sector, no. But why are they spending so much money? Like, nobody wakes up in the morning says, today let me hire a lawyer and spend a lot of money. Nobody says, right? Today I feel like, people may say, today I feel like going for a massage. Today I feel like going to a restaurant. But nobody says, today I feel like going to a lawyer and giving him a check of 10 lakh rupees, right? So why? Today I feel like going to a really good lawyer. Anybody ever heard anyone saying that? Today I feel like going to a really established lawyer like Zia Modi. Okay, I want to get advised by Zia Modi today. I feel like it. Nobody says that, right? When the client has a lot on stake, yes. So what are the three situations, Priyal, when clients have a lot at stake? We know two situations already. One I gave you, one Suman said. Okay, so the first one is that clients are spending a lot of money, and the third one Suman said is that it is when they are afraid of losing a lot of money, or there's a possibility that they may lose a lot of money. So what is the second one? Dire need, yes, good. But what is the second kind of dire need? Oh, nice, Ghazal, fantastic. Clients are expecting to make or get a lot of money. You have got it word by word. I have written exactly this. How did you guess this? Okay, sorry. Their clients are about to or expecting to make or get a lot of money. This is point 2. Copied from my LinkedIn. Oh, all right. Okay. So, good one. Okay. So their clients are spending. First situation, clients are spending a lot of money. Second, their clients are about to or expecting to make or get a lot of money. And the third one is that their clients are afraid that they're about to lose a lot of money. 3 situations. Okay. Remember, and we are going to get into deeper of each of these situations, right? Because if you want to really understand what is going on here, we have to go deeper into each situation. These 3 are just headline ideas, right? We have to go deeper into this. So this may seem too simplistic, but it is critical to understand these dynamics in details, okay? Because your success as a corporate lawyer pretty much depends on this, okay? If you are going to be a successful corporate lawyer, means you are going to deal with clients who are either, you know, just about to spend a lot of money, and they are going to hire a good lawyer. They don't want to scrimp on a lawyer when they're already, imagine you're spending $1 billion to buy a company, right? Are you going to look for the cheapest lawyer, or you will say, boss, I want the best lawyer in the country or in the world to come and represent me. I'm spending $1 billion effing dollars, so better I have a lawyer. I'll pay a few million, but I want to get the best deal for this money, right? So that is what. And then imagine the second situation, that where you are going to get a lot of money. So you are like, oh, I am going to raise an investment of 100 crores. So I don't mind. I mean, forget 100 crores. It might be too difficult for you to imagine. But even imagine a startup, small company, small startup, raising 1 crore of investment. 1 crore investment is bacha chotu motu investment, really small investment. Okay. Now, if you are raising 1 crore of investment and the lawyer wants to charge you 1 lakh rupees, which is 1%, okay, for negotiating your deal, or 2%. Will you say no to it? You will probably say, bhai, 1 crore le raha hai. Future mein I might have to raise more money. I need to get a good terms from the investor. If this lawyer can help me to get a good terms, do you mind spending 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees? Yes, no. Imagine you're raising 1 crore. This investor will sit on your head for next God knows how many years, and the negotiation is very important for you. Do you mind spending 1 lakh rupees out of that 1 crore you are getting? Usually not. Okay. Similarly, now 1 crore is very small money. Imagine you're getting 100 crores. Imagine you're getting 1,000 crores, right? It can be investment, it can be loan, it can be a big contract. Maybe you are selling a service or a product. Maybe you are selling a license which is going to cost, which is going to make so much money for you in the future. So you want to protect it. You want to make sure there's a really good lawyer working on that deal, so that you don't want to screw it up because you didn't spend too much money on a lawyer. Okay, I found a really cheap lawyer. But you don't want to say that to anyone, right? Because when there is like 10, even imagine, even 1 crore is at stake for you. Will you want to save money on a lawyer? Even imagine your brain has to be operated on, or your heart has to be operated on. Then you go to the best possible hospital, look for the best possible doctor you can have, money can buy. It's like that for a company when they're raising investment or selling the company or anything like that. They're going to get a lot of money, so they don't want to leave anything to chances. And the third situation, okay, third situation was what? That when they're going to lose a lot of money, they're afraid that they're going to lose a lot of money. Maybe there is a tax case, tax litigation. Government is demanding that you pay back taxes, and it's going to spend, the demand is of 1,000 crore tax or 100 crore tax. Then you don't want to take chances. You want to fight it, and you know that if you win the case, then you're going to save crores. So you don't mind spending lakhs on that case. Okay, Vodafone case, yeah, thousands of crores of tax. So they are ready to fight that and save taxes, right? So they have spent hundreds of crores on that litigation to save thousands of crores and manage to save it, right? It's justified if you're able to save so much money. This may seem, so now let's go ahead. When you are a corporate lawyer, much of your success depends on understanding the commercial interests of your clients. So you have to understand something called commercial interest. Most lawyers are way too focused on understanding the law. They're like, I have to understand the case law, I have to understand the statute, I have to understand the regulations, I have to understand how to draft the contract, I have to understand how to write a memo. But they do not realize that on above all of this, more important than all of this, first step is for you to understand your client's business. What is your client trying to do? What is your client trying to achieve economically or managerially, whatever, like, in management wise, they are trying to achieve an object which has finally a economic object. They're always an economic object. So if you are not able to understand that, then you'll never be able to be a good corporate lawyer. Okay, there is no hope in hell that you will be a good corporate lawyer if you're not good at understanding the commercial aspects of or commercial interest of your client. You have to understand the underlying economic logic of every transaction and every billable task you ever work on. Okay, and how even you'll see that a senior partner of a law firm, like the biggest law firm, okay, how do you think when they talk to clients, what do they emphasize on? Okay, do they say that I have so many years of experience? Sure, but they emphasize that we are a very commercially, we have high commercial acumen. We understand business. We understand your needs. Okay, and they are emphasizing on their understanding of the commercial part of their client's business. They don't boast that I have memorized 3,000 case laws. I can even recite the what do you call, the citations backwards. No, sorry, that's not going to help the clients. The clients don't want that. But they boast that I am very good at business acumen. That is what they go and read the law firm partners, profiles on their website, what they have written about themselves, what are their claim to fame. And you'll always see they're emphasizing on their commercial acumen first and foremost. Okay, and that is how they want their lawyers to be as well. There was a time when I went and spoke to a lot of lawyers. I went from one law firm to another, and I spoke to the law firm owners, law firm, managing partners. Okay. And I asked them that we are a legal education company. What do you want us to teach? If you are going to buy anything, what would be your pain point? What would you want us to teach to your lawyers? Okay. And you know what they said? The junior lawyers who are coming in, can you teach them this business part of it? Let's say a lot of time goes, an unstructured environment goes into teaching this. Let's say it's a venture capital business. How does it work? Who are the different people in a venture capital business? There are venture capitalists, VCs, and the VCs have LPs, limited partners. And then there are partners at venture capital. There are analysts there. What do these people do? Right? What do they want? These LPs are putting in these millions and billions of dollars into a venture capital fund. Why are they doing it? Why are they not putting the money in mutual funds instead? Why are they not putting in a hedge fund? Why are they not buying debt with the money or just investing in the public markets? Why are they putting in venture capital, right? What is the kind of return they expect? How long can they wait for that return? Okay. How do they manage a venture capital firm? When they are investing, what are the different kind of strategies they have for investing in a startup? If you don't understand this, then what will you negotiate as a lawyer? Okay, you will be very poor at negotiating. You may know all the law, all the clauses of a contract, but you won't be good. So people actually told us that, can you teach these things to our lawyers? And we included that in our courses accordingly. And that is why it's very important. Commercial acumen is one of the first things you want to develop as a commercial lawyer, as a corporate lawyer. Litigation lawyer can still get away without understanding commercial acumen or not developing a commercial sense, like a businessman, right? But a successful corporate lawyer has to do this. Okay. Okay. If you do not get this, you can't be a good corporate lawyer. So let's move on. Practice areas and law firms are focused on this basic economics. Okay, just 3 things I told you, all practice areas, right? So general corporate, do you think in general corporate they do every kind of corporate thing? No. They are focusing on these 3 mostly, most of the time, right? Because this is where the money is made. This applies to choosing practice areas. This applies to identifying emerging opportunities. How do you know that something is going to be big in the future? Something I should build, I should start building a practice, because 5 years down the line, this will be huge. And then I want to be ready when this becomes huge as one of the leading practitioners. How will you identify emerging opportunities? Imagine this year, over 100 million, there have been 8 deals in India. 8 deals over $100 million. Okay. Out of that, 5 have been in edutech, education technology, edutech, whatever you call it. Okay. And that is crazy, right? Now imagine people who saw the edtech opportunity, focused on it, build a relationship. I mean, somebody tried to build an edtech practice in law firms, they would be in a very good place today. There were law firms, fantasy sports have did really well, right? Fantasy sports, okay, like there's several fantasy sports companies doing tremendously well. Like Dream 11 is killing it, it's $1 billion company, and many others. Now, imagine that there are law firms which are trying to specialize in fantasy sports, because they realize that, okay, even now it is quite small, tomorrow it's going to be even bigger. Fantasy sports and gaming, we need to get in here, and we need to be seen to have a prominent practice in this area, and they're trying to build it. So they're also trying to identify emerging opportunities. So they are following the money, right? This applies to specialization opportunities you want to attack or not within a practice area. Let's say you are doing IPR, okay? But what do you learn in IPR, right? IPR is, there are so many things you can do. So you will start thinking that, okay, I need to focus on those things where people are going to spend money, which is a high priority for the clients. What are the 3 things in IPR, or what are the things in IPR which follows in these buckets? 1, clients are spending big money on this. What are those things? What are the things on which clients are afraid to lose a lot of money? What are the things on which clients are expecting to get a lot of money? So you'll be focusing on this. Those things only. And there are a lot of other things which may not fall into these buckets in IPR. And you will say, oh, chota mota lawyer, others will do it. I don't want to do it. I want to focus on which is big. Okay. This is very, very, very true in case of all law firms everywhere. So if you internalize this, you'll be able to identify opportunities for what they are. You'll be able to specialize on the right things, right? So where do companies spend a lot of money, right? This is a good question at this point. You would want to know, where do companies spend a lot of money, right? And you should be targeting those things. But let's understand, forget the legal work. First, let's see where companies spend their money, right? I was trying to study the good thing is that expenditures of all public limited companies is public, right? They share this on stock exchange, right? So they are sharing, all Indian companies, US companies, it's all on stock exchange. You can find out. So I was going through stuff and I was trying to see where do companies spend a lot of money. They say most companies spend a huge amount of money on salary. They are paying their employees salary, right? So it's a no-brainer thing. Okay, they are spending a lot of money on salary. So obviously, if there is anything that will increase the salary a lot, right? Or there is some law the government is making that will suddenly increase the salary bill, then they would have concerns about that. Okay. But otherwise, it's a normal thing. They don't have to worry about it. Surely there are employment law is a major area of work, but there is not much. Brand building. Now, companies spend a lot of money on brand building. In certain companies, they are spending 25% of their revenues, like FMCG companies spend 25%, 30%, 50% of their revenue sometimes on brand building and advertising, right? So for them, the brand is a very, very important asset. Okay. Then R&D, research and development. So there are all sorts of companies. Not everybody spends money on R&D, but there are certain really large companies, important companies, rich companies. They always spend a lot of money on R&D. Okay, research and development. Remember, we are not talking about legal expenditures now. We are trying to understand what are the priorities of companies. Okay, and brand and R&D both results in creation of IP. So registration of IP, protection of IP, making sure nobody is abusing or infringing on our IP. These are also important area for companies. Then corporate governance. Corporate governance is important because if you're a publicly listed company, if you don't have good corporate governance, then the price of your shares will fall. Then everybody makes losses, right? Companies with good corporate governance get a premium on stock exchange. Okay, so they have better stock prices. So companies want to spend money on corporate governance so that their stock price will stay high. So corporate governance is something on which they're generously spending money. Taxes. Companies know that they are going to give a lot of their income as taxes, right? All sort of taxes, GST, income tax, and maybe more taxes. So they very, very well know that they're going to spend a lot of money on taxes. Lead generation and client acquisition. This is very important. Now we have to realize that there are different kinds of businesses, but everybody has to sell. They need clients. They need leads. Leads mean before you have an actual client, there's a lead who are generation. So it is advertising, it's sales activities, content marketing, so many advertising, TV advertising. So big budgets are spent on lead generation and client acquisition, and it looks different in different industries. Okay. Then there are vendors and suppliers. So you always have a lot of you can't do everything in-house, so they will have vendors and suppliers who are providing some input services, input goods to your company. For example, does Apple, which is the biggest company in the world, and we're going to talk about Apple's expenses. Okay, can you name, very famous, right? Can you name a major vendor of Apple? Can you guess? Anybody has heard the name? No. Foxconn, right? Aniket has said it. Very good, very smart, Anirudh. Yeah, Aniket. So Foxconn basically manufactures Apple's iPhones in China, right? And then basically all the iPhones and MacBooks, etc., are getting manufactured by Foxconn, and then it's another company, and they're manufacturing in China, and so it's a big vendor of Apple, right? And similarly, other companies also have vendors, right? So you might, for example, LawSikho is selling courses to many companies. Like we have provided services to we are vendors to companies like ITC, ICICI Bank, Mahindra, and they are buying courses from. So we are a vendor to them. So then we sign vendor contracts, and this happens across. One of the major costs that you are having vendors and suppliers. Then real estate and infrastructure, right? So companies and businesses need real estate. They need an office now, remote office, but still maybe you need a factory, right? Then you can't really go remote. You need a factory. You need to manufacture. So real estate and infrastructure, like even infrastructure includes machinery and stuff like that. So you're setting up a new factory, new plant, right? New maybe it's an energy production plant, power plant, right? So all kind of infrastructure can be there, and real estate and infrastructure is a large item for them. Then technology. So technology is also a thing. So technology doesn't mean only software; it can mean hardware. So maybe you are a automobile company, right? Then your technology is, let's say, some Japanese company has developed a technology for a very good car, and then you are licensing it from them, or there may be different parts that you're licensing from different people also. That's also possible. So technology licensing fees, technology, maybe you're using a lot of software, you need data rooms or data servers. Those things can also be large costs, right? EPC and machinery. EPC is engineering, procurement, and construction, and machinery, like this is relevant for manufacturing companies. Yeah. And okay, so let's take a real example now. Or Apple, right? The example is Apple. Apple is the largest corporation in the world, and we're going to look at how Apple spends its money, right? Okay, anybody knows how Apple spends its money? Yes, no, maybe? Do you know? Nobody's saying anything. Everyone's quiet, all quiet on the Western front. So let's move ahead. I'll go forward. Where does it spend most of its money, right? Let's see. So operating expenses, this is a big like overhead, right? All of operating expenses was $196 billion in 2019 for Apple. Okay, 2020 we don't know. 2019 was how much? $196 billion. Provision for income taxes. Okay, so they have not paid income tax but kept a provision of $10 billion. And non-operating expenses minus $2 billion. So this is profit. So this is not a cost. This is actually non-operating income expense. Usually is like, okay, if you have, so they have a lot of reserves, right? So they get interest on it. If they have invested the money somewhere, they get a return on it. So they profited actually from all of that, and they made money. So it is not a cost. It's a profit of $2 billion from there. So cost of sales. Okay, this is declared in stock exchange, in NASDAQ. Cost of sales. Cost of sales, I'll explain to you what is cost of sales, was $162 billion in 2019. As a percentage of revenue, cost of sales was 62%. Okay, anybody knows what is cost of sales? Like what is included in cost of sales? Okay, cost of sales includes labor, materials, and manufacturing overhead. Okay. It does not include anything. It doesn't include advertising, salesman cost, or the store cost. Apple has iStore, iPhone store, whatever. What is it called? Apple stores, and all of that is not included. Only the goods that is being sold, cost of goods. Okay. So cost of sales, it includes labor, material, and manufacturing overhead. Right. So this is what they have spent on making whatever they have been making. Cost of sales. Now, R&D expenses was $16.2 billion. Okay. $16.2 billion in 2019. It's a lot of money. They are spending $16.2 billion. As a percentage of revenue, R&D expenses were 6.2% in 2019. This was double of what they spent earlier. In 2019, their R&D investment, it's like they are spending more money on R&D, drastically more, because obviously they want to create more technology, they want to create better products, better all of that. So they are investing heavily in R&D. They doubled their expenditure on R&D. Selling, general and administrative expense. This is the third. There are three big expenses that they showcase on their balance sheet as headline items. The third one is the selling, general and administrative. It's called SG&A in accounting terms in USA. And expense has been 18.2 billion, right? So it was 7%. Okay, so what does this include? This includes advertising, branding, administration of the company. So the CEO's salary is included here, right? If they're hiring any consultants, all of that is included here. Salesman's commission is included here, all of that, right? So cost of selling, right? And general and administrative, advertising, everything, the branding, design, whatever, right? Software, right? Cyber security, legal fees, everything comes from here, right? Which is 7% and $18.2 billion. Okay. So Apple has spent, and then a couple of other important things that I picked up for you to see, just to understand, how a large corporation like this spends its money. Apple has spent 7.4 billion on data centers. Okay. Another 7.1 billion was budgeted for product tooling, manufacturing process equipment, corporate infrastructure and facilities. It can be like new office buildings, everything, right? Facilities, information services, enhancement, software and hardware. Okay, so fascinating, right? So Apple spends a lot of its profits. Now, what does it do? So Apple is one of the most profitable company in the world. So this is all the costs, right? Now they make profits. So where does the profit go? So it has been spending a lot of its profits on buybacks of shares. So buyback is a way of rewarding your shareholders, right? They have shares, you buy back, okay, 10% of the shares. So they have less shares now, but they get a lot of money from that share buyback. The company gives that money in the hand of the shareholder by buying back the shares. Okay, interesting. Corporate, and obviously it creates a lot of legal work. You can understand, lawyers only do this work. Corporate dividends, right? Dividends are paid out to shareholders, and they are also using this money to invest in new businesses. Acquisitions, merger and acquisitions also will come from here. So where would a company like Apple spend a lot of money on legal fees, right? I actually went through old newspaper items trying to understand where Apple have made headlines because so much money they have spent on legal fees, right? I even went through one interview of the Apple's general counsel, which he was Apple's general counsel for 8 years and created crazy litigation strategies and a lot of corporate law strategies. And he had a huge budget at his disposal, $1 billion a year. Okay. So what did they do with this $1 billion a year? So you can see now what I'm going to show you, right? So where would a company like Apple spend a lot of money on legal fees? Can you guess? Can you give me top 3 guesses? Can you guess 3? Where is it spending a lot of money? Legal fees. Now we are not talking about general expenditures, right? Talking about legal fees. General expenditures we saw, like of Apple, we can understand what are their priorities. Like you can see that they are spending a lot of money on data centers. They're spending a lot of money on R&D, innovating new technology, right? And they are clearly very focused on IP. So you can understand that if they are spending so much money on R&D, then they will also be spending a lot of money to protect that IP they are creating, right? What else they must be doing? Okay, patent, IPR, due diligence, cross. These are the answers you're giving. I'm reading this. Copyright, data breach, share MOA and AOA, subsidiary companies. Okay, okay. You guys are guessing. Your guys are done guessing. Geographical expansion, very interesting. So you guys are done guessing. You want me to move forward? If yes, say yes. Or if you are still writing, say no. So I will hold on. Because I want you to guess this. Think about it. What they must be spending on. Only Jagannath is saying yes. Everyone is quiet. Does that mean you are going to say something? Regulatory and compliance. Madhavan is saying M&A. Anupam Nandan is saying regulatory and compliance. Lokendra is saying privacy and security establishments. Taxation. Very interesting. Very interesting. Tax litigation, M&A. All right. Very good, guys. I'm happy with the quality of inputs. You guys are really smart, I must say. Unless you have again read some article I've written. Okay. Suits with other tech companies. Extremely good. Rishika is saying acquiring futuristic businesses. Very good, Rishika. Very good. Consumer actions, Rajesh. Very good. Very good. You guys are damn smart. Okay. Okay. First, okay, let's see. Okay, one, they spend a lot of money on acquisitions. Okay. Not recently, but historically they have spent, like, and more than Apple, other companies spend even more. Apple is not a very acquisition heavy company, but they acquire also, and they can spend a lot of money on acquisition. Another area where they spend a lot of money is R&D, research and development. So research and development also means, in fact, before you can even do research and development, you have to spend a lot of money on figuring out in which direction to go. Like, if you have attended my previous webinars on patent landscaping and stuff like that, you'll understand that they're constantly spending money on researching their competitors, their provisional patent filings, they're studying patent portfolio in different areas and trying to understand where they want to create new technology. Okay? So all of things saying voice is not clear. Are you guys able to hear me clearly or not? If you can hear me clearly, I will be like yes. Madhavan Basudev, very good. Fighting competition. Trying to get advantage from competition. Voice is not clear. Okay, I'm going to change my internet. Just give me a second. I'm changing my internet. Is it any better, guys? Now I have changed my internet connection. Can you hear me better right now? Can you hear me now? Is it any better? If you can hear me, please say yes. Hello. Okay, okay. Okay, you guys can hear me. Super. I'm sorry for the interruption. I've changed my internet. Securing IP and patent competitiveness. Okay, this is a huge thing for them. They are always trying to be more competitive in terms of their patent portfolio, and sometimes they are trying to drive down the price of like licensing fees of competitors from which they are licensing certain things, right? So here is one headline that I wanted to show you guys. Apple and Google spent more money on legal fees than R&D last year, and Google apparently thinks Apple wants it that way. This is from 2012, right? Crazy, right? I mean, imagine, we saw the huge kind of R&D budget they had, and they spent more money on legal fees. Most of it went into patent and stuff like that, patent and antitrust suits. Apple spent over 60 million on US lawyers against Samsung, not even talking about other countries, only US lawyers. They paid $60 million to US lawyers against Samsung. Do you remember? This is from 2013, December 6, 2013. Do you remember that anybody was there or read about it when they got a $1 billion settlement against Samsung? Apple won that case. Do you remember that? Yes, no, yeah. So they got a $1 billion, but they spent 60 million on lawyers. Insane, right? Okay. Look at this in 2012, October 8, 2012, there's a headline. More than 20 billion spent on patent litigation in 2 years. Crazy, right? But don't think that patent litigation is the only thing in the world, of course. Apple former top lawyer, $1 billion budget enabled high risk strategies. Imagine $1 billion per year on spending on legal. It's insane, right? By the way, they have reduced it now. They don't spend as much on legal anymore. But you know, back then it was a part of their thing. And there are other companies which are doing stuff like this even today. Apple documents reveal multi-year plot to pressure and hurt Qualcomm. Okay, crazy. 2019. This is recent, right? Apple documents reveal multi-year plot to pressure and hurt Qualcomm. Okay. Corporate governance. Okay, corporate governance. Why? Because, like I explained to you, why corporate governance is important. And it's huge risk. Like companies are always worried about corporate governance issues, because any corporate governance issue will drive down their prices, and it is a worst thing that can happen. If your share prices come down, it harms you in enormous way, in different ways. Okay, not even going into it, right? So corporate governance is a huge issue for them. Antitrust cases. Okay, Apple spend, and all these large companies in the US spend a lot of money on antitrust cases. In India, not so much yet, but I think even here it's the future. Competition law will become more and more important. They are already spending competition teams are one of the best paid. Okay, but because they're always dealing with these huge matters where clients are going to get a lot of money or spending a lot of money, and they have a fear of losing a lot of money, all three together. But in India, we haven't really seen any antitrust cases much. For example, there's one case coming up involving Uber and Ola. Okay, if you follow our newsletters in LawSikho, you would have read about algorithmic collusion. Okay, so there's something called algorithmic collusion. So both the companies create algorithms which check each other's pricing and then goes up or down accordingly. And this is called algorithmic collusion. And till now, India never looked at it. But now Supreme Court has said we'll hear this case. Okay, and the lawyer who filed this case actually worked with LawSikho briefly at one point. So I'm very proud of that. But now Supreme Court is going to hear. Now imagine a decision which goes against Uber and Ola in such a case. And algorithmic collusion happens across board, like it happens even in online advertising. So Google will get affected, Facebook will get affected, Twitter will get affected, LinkedIn will get affected. Okay, and it's crazy. Now, so obviously Ola and Uber is going to spend as much money as needed, because it is directly going to hurt their profitability, right? So they are going to fight it like anything. So antitrust cases in India, we'll see a lot more in the future. We haven't seen enough yet. Tax obviously, on which Apple spends a lot of money, everybody spends a lot of money. Like, just look at this. Because Apple's tax bills are like $10 billion, $15 billion, right? Apple and Ireland reached tax escrow deal as Apple is set for fall. And this was like a $10 billion escrow on taxes. So you can imagine why they would want to spend a lot of money on tax lawyers, right? This is a huge high priority for them. When client, it's just like this. When you are going to spend $10 billion, you don't mind paying $10 million to a lawyer if he can save you, right? You might as well take a shot like that, right? And Apple is known for its extremely aggressive tax strategy across the world, trying to reduce its tax liabilities as much as possible everywhere. And this is done by all major conglomerates in the world. The strategy for tax is that, okay, let's not pay tax, like let's create some way to not pay tax. And yes, we understand the government may sue us, then we'll fight it in the court. And if we lose, we'll pay. But why should we pay in the beginning? Let's find out a way not to pay taxes, right? If possible, then if we lose, we'll pay. Okay, maybe we'll have to pay a little fine, whatever. What if we win? Then we save a lot of money. We save billions of dollars. So instead of, sometimes it makes sense. Simply like, if you apply logic, economic logic, it makes sense to fight it and just pay, right? So this is done by people all the time, by companies. So double Irish Dutch sandwich, some smart lawyers and accountants. Absolutely. We wrote articles about this. We teach these things, by the way, like how these tax structures are done in our LawSikho courses. Irish sandwich, Dutch sandwich, all different tax. I mean, for example, you transfer your IP from US to another country, to Ireland. You set up many of these global companies like Google, Apple, they have their official corporate headquarters in Ireland. Okay, so a lot of interesting cases. Tax structuring happen, global tax structure. Okay. So when client, so now let's forget about Apple and let's see generally, because I wanted to give you an example of Apple, but that doesn't mean Apple is the only type of company. There are all types of companies in the world, and there are different businesses and there are different priorities. They spend on different things. So I wanted to give you some general examples. Now we jump into general examples, right? When clients are spending a lot of money, so what are these cases? Mergers and acquisitions, right? If you're doing a merger, if you're doing an acquisition, you're probably spending a lot of money, right? Especially large corporations, they're spending enormous amount of money on mergers and acquisitions. It could be like a few hundred crores, it could be 10 crore, it could be 100 crore, it could be 1,000 crore, it could be 100 billion. Okay, LinkedIn was acquired for how many $billion? Recently, Slack got acquired for how many $billion? You remember? Slack was acquired by which company? Anybody knows? Salesforce, right? One of the largest technology companies out there. For how much? $27 billion. What is $27 billion in INR, Indian rupees? Just calculate. I don't want to do it, right? Use Google if you want to see. Imagine, what is $1 billion? $1 million, how much is $1 million? Is 7.5 crores, right? 1 million. And then how much is a billion? It's 1,000 million, right? So it is like 7,500 crores is 1 billion. And now if you're talking about 27 billion, then count what kind of insane money that is. Okay. So mergers and acquisitions, right? Somebody has calculated some crazy amount. Like, how long is this? I can't even. Okay. So, so that is one merger and acquisition. So if you're working on such deals, so you can expect to get paid well, right? Somebody is dealing in tens of thousands of crores, right? Or hundreds of thousands of crores. Surely they don't mind paying 100 crore legal fees, right? That happens in globally. And in India also, if you're dealing with 100 crore deal, 200 crore deal, 1% legal fees is considered normal. Sometimes it is less also. Sometimes it goes up to 2%. Depends on how complex, how urgent, what situation it is. Acquiring technology, right? Licensing deals, acquiring technology. So these are things on which clients are spending a lot of money, right? Licensing deal could be about technology. It could be about a brand. It could be about a franchisee agreement, right? Large projects and infrastructure. Imagine Adani setting up an airport or buying a port or buying, I don't know, like some land to set up a big, huge factory or a coal mine, buying a coal mine, right? So large project, and you are setting up a huge plant, a steel plant. So large projects and infrastructure is also something on which they spend a lot of money. And tax, right? Obviously, like as usual, tax, dates and taxes is certain. Large scale items where ticket size may be low, but volume is high. This is a tricky one, but you need to understand it's a special opportunity. So things which have a huge volume, like consumer cases, right? It can be all warranty cases, right? So it can be a huge number, maybe tens of thousands, insurance claims. You can have tens of thousands of insurance claims, warranty claims, consumer cases, right? So you might be willing to spend a lot of money to fight it so that a precedence doesn't get created against you. Or because if you lose one, you might lose thousands. Or if you start giving to one, you might have to start paying to tens of thousands of people. So then, people fight it. Then compliance, when fine can be very large. So for example, GDPR lawyers are getting paid a lot. GDPR, because fine is so huge in GDPR that, people are ready to pay. Class action suits, good, because, you are going to lose a lot of money, but you're talking about where people are spending a lot of money, right? So Large contracts where you're spending a lot of money, any kind of large contract, right? A contract worth 100 crore, right? So you don't want to, scrimp on, you don't mind paying a few lakhs for 100 crore contract that you need drafted and negotiated. You're like, please spend money, but get me the best deal. When clients are expecting to get a lot of money, this is another situation. So first situation done, second situation. They're expecting to get a lot of money. When they're fundraising, okay, equity or debt, venture capital, private equity, okay, merger and acquisition is not this fundraising, but debt, like raising a loan, okay, term loan or any other, like, debenture issue, right? Any kind of large scale debt somebody is raising, or a syndicated loan agreement, right? So there also people are ready to give good money to lawyers. IPO or FPO. IPO is what? Initial public offer. FPO is a follow-on public offer. Private placement deals. Basically, again, a lot of money being raised, a lot of money involved. Then yes, absolutely, lawyers are paid very well. Selling a business or an asset. Imagine you're selling a big asset. You're selling a factory. You're selling a very prime property. Okay, you're selling a port, you're selling an airport, you're selling a big company, right? So then or any asset, business or asset. Licensing, franchising, merchandising, this can be also very expensive contracts. Master services contracts. Imagine GST, right? When GST network was created, GST infrastructure was created, Infosys got a huge contract, right, for building the software and stuff like that. So it's a master services contract, and what contract can be worth $1 billion, $10 billion in the US. Sometimes, US government is giving contracts out worth $10 billion to Amazon, right? So these kind of contracts also, master services contracts will be there. Sale of goods, sometimes sale of goods, international sale of goods, and these can be huge contracts. So this is another. People are going to make a lot of money, so they are ready to spend a lot of money, and they don't want to scrimp on the legal bill. Then when clients are afraid of losing a lot of money, okay, another situation. This is another psychology of a client, in which situation they are paying a lot of money. Tax litigation is the obvious one. Shareholders disputes and corporate governance litigation, because shareholders disputes are very serious. Okay, so shareholders disputes are like, if you lose, you might lose the company. You might lose control of the company. You might lose, your special rights that you have, and you can't afford to lose it. So shareholders disputes, the parties will spend a lot of money on such disputes. Corporate governance litigation, exact same thing, right? So Tata Mystery dispute is a good example. I don't know how many hundreds of crores they have spent till now on that shareholder dispute, and it will spend a few more 100 crores. Corporate governance litigation also same. Like corporate governance is related to control of the company, management of the company, finances of the company, all of that. Operation and mismanagement by one shareholder of a smaller shareholder. So IP infringement suits or enforcement. This is also very important, because you have created a very valuable IP. If you do not protect it, somebody is stealing it, somebody is misusing it, somebody is copying, you might lose your IP, and it can be a serious threat. So for example, if you're making a movie, or you're making a 100 crore movie, or the budget is 100 crore, you're spending 100 crores in making a movie. Now people are even spending more, 200, 300 crores in making a movie. And then imagine that somebody just takes it and puts it up on YouTube or whatever, starts circulating it on Telegram groups. Imagine the loss, because if somebody watched the movie already, they're not going to watch it on the movie, won't buy. It's a big problem, right? Netflix, they are spending billions of dollars on creating content. So they want a result out of it, right? So IP infringement suits, because they have to protect, they have to prevent piracy, and they are ready to go to any extent for that, spend any amount of money. Very, very important. Brand abuse matters. So, if I have a strong brand, Apple brand, and somebody is going to misuse the brand, they're not going to take chances. They're going to put their best lawyers on it. Defamation and reputation issues, right? Recently, we saw white hat juniors hiring the best lawyers, and going after people who have been writing things about them online. but they don't, it's very important for them. They will spend the best money possible on such issues. Defamation and reputation even happens always, right? Companies spend a lot of money on if there are such cases. So now, now the time to understand, I have described the different kind of matters on which clients usually spend a lot more money. This is not exhaustive, guys. There can be more. Can you think of more? Tell me. Happy to, tell you whether you are on the right track or not. But I hope I have given you a direction to think, because there is no end to this, right? There can be more tomorrow, and there probably are many other things which I am not touching upon. But you should be able to figure it out on your own also. If you understand the direction, how we are doing this, you'll be able to figure it out, right? Now, but before going, something I want to tell you, right? Company restructuring issues. So like that, you'll be able to find things. These government policy change, companies are ready to spend any amount of money to figure out government policy and, structure their businesses around it so that government policy doesn't kill their business, right? So these clients or they get favorable government policies. Okay, so many other examples you can come up with. These clients are expecting, this kind of clients like Apple or Facebook, or even clients who are spending crores, right? Many other clients. What are they expecting, right? One is that they expect urgent handling. All their matters are urgent. It is never not urgent, right? Whenever you have $1 billion at stake, or even $1 million at stake, that is 7.5 crores at stake, it is an urgent matter. And it is always urgent handling, right? They expect immediate attention, right? So you might be having research matters going on, doesn't matter. You have to handle it here and now. And you have to give them the attention they want. They are so surely going to pay you a lot of money for it, but they need to give it now. You can't say, hey, it's at night I like to sleep. Okay, if you have to have a meeting or you have to reply to a mail at 2 o'clock at night, you do. And people do this. You may be surprised at why in law firm there is a culture that, people are working at night and blah, blah, and replying to mails at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not justifying anything. I don't want to, but you have to understand that this is what these clients are, they need it sometimes. Sometimes they are just used to it. But they are paying for it. They are ready to pay anything for this kind of attention and this kind of support, right? They want perfection, right? So if you are somebody who makes typos in your document, if your document doesn't look good, so they often are not able to understand from a legal point of view. Yes, they also have lawyers many times, but they may not be able to judge something from a legal point of view. But if you think that what is the problem if there are 3 typos in my 5-page document, can happen to anyone, it's human but for them it's a signal. My God, if you have made typo errors, God knows what other error you might have made. It may be rational, irrational, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. Those clients want perfection, right? Even the margin cannot be this side by 1 inch or that side. Like, if a senior counsel in Supreme Court does that, he'll get away with it. You will not get away with it. You are a corporate lawyer, okay? Because people are constantly judging you, and which is why corporate law firms also have developed this, good or bad, I'm not commenting on it, but they have developed, most of them, extremely judgmental environment. People are judging each other all the time. Okay, you want small things. You make a typo, people will be like, what law school did you go to? They didn't teach you. Like, this is the kind of situation you come across. Again, I'm not justifying, I don't think it should be like this, but they are under huge perfection expectation. Even a small error would be destructive of their reputation. At least that's how they feel. Okay, and many clients also expect like that. Zero errors. Imagine they're spending $1 billion on a legal matter. They don't expect errors, right? AI software to assess mistakes. No, that's not there. Till date, there is no AI software which is created which will catch such mistakes. There are softwares which can catch some mistakes, maybe. I use a software. I pay for a software called Grammarly, and I have used other software. Nothing is perfect. They will show a lot of things which are not wrong. They'll think it is wrong, or it is wrong, but they'll not catch. It will happen all the time. Okay, but that doesn't matter. How you get it correct, they don't give a damn. There has to be zero errors, legally and every other way possible. They also expect, may not be used for privileged information, but I'm not dealing with privileged information. I'm not a corporate lawyer. There may be other softwares. Constant communication, right? They are expecting you will be in touch, like when they need, you will be there. And a lot of corporate lawyers manage to build a business without this also, right? But it is the culture in large law firms, that constant communication, right? I was sleeping, sure, like, I mean, nobody says don't sleep. That would be too crazy to say that, but actually they are replying in the middle of the night. Everyone, yeah. They are waking up at 6 o'clock and starting to work like that. It's crazy. There's no time, and when a deal is going on, you might not sleep for days, or you might get a few hours of sleep and you consider yourself lucky. And it doesn't matter. You're not thinking of sleeping, eating. It's like the deal is there. It has to get done. You're going to make a bunch of money, but this is how it is, right? People think that corporate lawyering is like Mike Ross coming up with some smart stuff, but it's not like that. It's mostly grind work. And even litigation, grind work, right? You have to grind it. You have to burn the midnight lamp. They can't show you in suits that Mike Ross is sitting there for 6 hours staring at one book or one document, right? But that won't be cool. You will not watch Suits if they do that. But that's how lawyers do. They expect highest level of skills, okay? Confidentiality, right? Oh, there's something I want to show you. Proven track record and experience. They don't care. They want proven track record and experience, okay? So they go to the best law firm. So for example, imagine that I'm CEO of a publicly listed company and I have many shareholders. And I know that a very big law firm and a tier 2 law firm will do exactly the same job. I'm taking a legal opinion or I'm doing a due diligence. The second law firm, that maybe this is the top law firm, this is number 5 law firm or number 10 law firm in the same thing, and the number 1 law firm will charge 10x and the number 1 law firm will charge 10 times more than the other law firm, right? So if you are normal, you will go to the to the law firm which is charging 10 times less. But if you are a big publicly listed company or even a PSU, you're spending government money, you will not go to the person who's charging less. You will go to the most reputed firm. Guess why? Because tomorrow, if something goes wrong, nobody will give you a medal that you saved a lot of money. Because whose advice did you take? So if it goes wrong, you lose the litigation. You will say, but we took the advice from the best lawyers in the country. What else can we do? We have nothing else we could have done, right? But if you lose after taking very good advice from a not so famous lawyer, then you lose your job or you will lose your next promotion or whatever. You're screwed because you made a mistake, right? Maybe it is not in your control. So they are always like, like CYA, cover your ass, remember? So if you attended my session before, a few sessions, we were discussing CYA. So it's a CYA for big corporate honchos that they went to the big law firm, spent a lot of money. And they are going to not care about how much money they spend. They will go to the biggest law firm, right? And this is why big law firms can charge a lot of money. Okay, and then comes skills, like highest track record and experience matters more than even highest level of skills. And highest level of skills you need anyway. If you don't have skills, you will not be working in that place. But yeah, like track record is needed. So that is why I keep saying that build your track record early, build your track record early. Anyway, I don't want to get into that today. It's already 10:20. Let's move fast. Smooth operations. Things have to happen smooth for the client. You might be shitting bricks and there may be 100 bad things happening at your end in the law firm. People are shouting at each other, throwing paper at each other. It doesn't matter, right? The client has to see everything is perfect, because otherwise they will lose their sleep. They will imagine they have $1 million. For you, this is every day. But for them, it's like once in a blue moon deal. Maybe they are doing an IPO. After 20 years of hard work or 10 years of hard work, IPO is happening. And if they know that you are making mistakes or whatever, you're fighting amongst yourselves, they will go crazy. They'll go to another law firm immediately. Okay, because they can't afford any mistakes in such scenarios. For you, you're doing one IPO. every month. So for you, it's okay. But that doesn't work like that. Okay. And you have to produce results. If you don't produce results, nobody cares. Okay. Nobody's going to say, oh, you tried your best. Well done. Here is your gold medal or bronze medal. No. Nothing, right? You have to produce results or you're out. What do you have to do to deliver, right? Skills are only a starting point. You have to understand there are so many other things, right? It takes much more than just skills. Skills are a starting point. If you don't have skills, you have nothing, right? But you need all of these ability to navigate this kind of a very demanding work situation, right? So you told us they have crazy working hours. What do you think my work hours are? I started working at 9. What is it? 10:30, right? I'm a startup entrepreneur. If you are not happy with working in a law firm, join a startup. It will be even worse. Okay, so it takes much more, right? What happened? Where are my slides? Just a second, my slides have hung. Okay, we're back. All right, so yep, so it's working again, it's unhung again. So it takes much more, right? So I'm going to tell you a little more few things before we wrap up, but before that, couple of important things. What is your takeaway from this session? What did you learn? Quickly write down in the chat. Okay, fast, quick, write down in the chat. What did you learn? Okay, that's one thing, because when you write down your takeaway, it becomes real for you. Otherwise, you're going to forget. It's a very important hack. Remember this. Every time you learn something, at least write down 5 big takeaways. You spent 1 hour, 1.5 hours, okay, listening to this. Even if you spend 10 minutes listening to this, doesn't matter, right? Did you learn something? Write down 3 to 5 things that are takeaways for you. Write down immediately. I always do this. Anything I watch, anything I write, I immediately write down 3 to 5 takeaways. And if you write it down, it's not like you have to refer to this document later. Just because you wrote it down, your brain remembers it. Okay, it's an amazing hack. If you follow this, you'll be very happy in life. Quickly write down in the chat. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Can write down somewhere else also, but I would like to know what are your takeaways. It gives me understanding if I've delivered things right. Okay. Also, I have a request. Write your takeaways in your Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn and tag us. 2 things it will do. One is that other people will see that you know so much, you're serious about this. It helps your network. They will appreciate your insights, and also it will help us to spread the word about LawSikho. Because please help us, because we are doing this free of cost. I hope you don't mind giving a little back by talking about us, right? So that's great. Awesome. I'm seeing really good takeaways. Suman, Pranav, Aniket, fantastic stuff. Rajeshri. Okay, awesome. Anupam, fantastic. Okay. Here is a free workshop coming up, right? 16th December, 3 hours inside the workings of a 1 crore per year corporate law practice. Clearly, it's not a big law firm. It's a smaller practice. How many of you have already registered for this workshop? If you have registered for this workshop on 16th, write yes. If you have not registered, write no. If you have not registered, just write no. Who are the no people? Niva. Oh, okay. Let me help you guys quickly. Who are the other people who haven't done it yet? Who are the people who are left to enroll? Rishika. Why haven't you guys enrolled? Okay, just a moment. I'll share the link with you. So you guys want to attend, right? So I'm going to share the link with you. It is lawsikho.com/lawfirmworkshop. Okay. I'm sharing the link with all of you here. Please enroll right now. Do not miss this workshop. Okay. If you enjoyed today's workshop, if you learned something from today's workshop, I can assure you, you are going to absolutely, absolutely love this workshop, 3 hours workshop. Okay. You really, doesn't matter. Maybe you are not in a place to set up a law firm, right? That doesn't matter. Just this knowledge will help you. Plus, if you're looking for jobs, it will help you to understand how these law firms of this size function. A 4 or 5 member law firm, a good law firm functions. And that will help you to understand how to add value to them. How can you help such a law firm, right? So it's amazing for you. Do not miss this, because it will be just amazing. And if you want to work abroad in foreign law firms, if you want to work with lawyers abroad, if you want to work with lawyers in India who are building good law firms now, right? Yeah, I've shared the link already. I'm sharing again, Rishabh, here. Make sure you register here. Okay. Do not miss. Hi guys, I had lost connection for a moment. I really apologize. So it says registration closed. Okay, guys, if anyone is having any problem with registration, okay, just I'm going to share one group with you. Just join that group. Okay, because I don't know what the hell, why are you not able to register? That's crazy. Registration is not closed, it is open. But since you are facing a problem, I'm going to share one WhatsApp group with you. How many of you are not in our corporate law WhatsApp groups? Okay, if you are there, that's great. Then you can message the admins and request, right, for a link. I sent you by mistake old webinar. No, this is law. What challenge? Oh, this is the old one. I'm sorry. I've sent you the wrong one. Oh, I found it. I'm so sorry. I had shared the wrong link with you guys. I apologize. Here you go. Now you can join this, right? Sharing this on YouTube also. Please enroll right now. Don't do it. Don't delay it. Just go and enroll right away. Where is the chat? Here you go. Please register. Okay, I have a request. All of you, please follow me on Twitter so that we can stay in touch, right? So here is my Twitter profile. Yeah, I have shared the link already above. It's lawsikho.com/corporate law workshop. Okay, lawsikho.com/corporate law workshop. So you can find that, or you can just see the link above. I have shared. I'm sharing it again just in case. Okay, please join it immediately. Do not delay. Sharing it again just in case you haven't found it. All right, super. Thank you everyone for joining me. I really appreciate your time and looking forward to see you tomorrow again. Right, tomorrow I have another workshop. Where would you find the next workshop? Another webinar, right? Every day 9 o'clock. I told you I do webinars, and not only that, we have some amazing other webinars also by other people, right? So you must go here and check out all the webinars and register for the ones that you want to register, because it's a great opportunity to get a lot of free knowledge, right? So please visit and check it out. And tomorrow, register for my webinar tomorrow. How many of you are going to come tomorrow? Yes, no, maybe? In the chat, please quickly. How many are going to come tomorrow for my webinars? Rajshri, Rishabh, Jagannath, Rishika, Sunil, Divya. Awesome. Who else? Who all are maybe? Okay. What about YouTube? Anybody watching this on YouTube want to be there tomorrow again? Want to watch out 9 p.m. talk tomorrow? What do I have tomorrow? Let me check. What is my tomorrow's topic? Tomorrow is what are the disadvantages of becoming a corporate lawyer and how to overcome them. Please be there if you want to be a corporate lawyer, because you need to know the disadvantages of becoming a corporate lawyer so that you can overcome them.